Good evening, viewers. Tonight on Calypso Showcase, we are going to present the young king for 1991, Machel Montano. Though just a youth, we can consider him already one of the more experienced Calypsonians. Machel, welcome to Calypso Showcase.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
I understand you spent the last weekend in Grenada. What were you doing there?
Well, we had 2 shows to do up on that side, and we just went up there as a group, Ecstatic and myself, on Friday afternoon. After school I went up and we did 2 shows for the people of Grenada. They were so energetic and they enjoyed the performance. It was actually the first time I've been there in a few years, so everything worked out fine.
And this summer vacation, you traveled up north as usual?
Yes. Well, we went on North American tour where we first started off in Canada, Boston, New York, and we did shows mainly like on the weekends. Sometimes we had shows during the week, but this was generally promo for the band. The band was on tour, and we played for Labor Day in New York, and we also played for Boston Carnival on the road, representing bands up there.
All right. Well, we're going to be showing our viewers tonight a video clip of Machel at his home on Kura Road, a very famous road at that. People like the deceased Daisy Voisin.
Yes.
We also had a runner, I think, from Kura Road.
That's Rangel.
Moses Rangel, and we also have Kenny J coming from Kura Road. So we'll be visiting Kura Road in our video tonight. And when we come back, we'll be taking calls from you, the viewer. You can ask Machel Montano anything you like or just make a comment about his career. So sit back, relax, and enjoy on Calypso Showcase tonight, Machel Montano, the young king. Good evening, good evening.
Good
Machel.
afternoon.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Returning from a hard day at school?
Well, not too hard for the start. We just starting off easy and building up with some.
In 6th form now, right?
Yes.
What subjects are you doing?
Well, I'm doing maths, physics, and economics.
Can you refresh my mind as to what subjects you did at O level and what did you manage to obtain?
Well, I call them the hard subjects. I did maths, additional mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, Spanish, English A, and English B, and geography.
And the results?
9 subjects. I got 3 1s and 5 2s and a B in hard maths.
And a B in hard maths is like a 1 in CXC.
Yeah, because
so
the GC
congrats, very, very well done indeed.
Lot.
Obviously, what comes to mind is, how did you do it? How did you mix soca with studies?
Well, according to some people, I know people in Barbados, but that's just some people's opinion. But I think it was generally hard work. And my mother and late nights. I think that was generally the most I could remember. Studying from dusk till dawn, and generally planning out what I have to do with my music. If I know I had to sing, I also took time off from the tent. This year, I didn't go to the tent this year, so I made sure that I would do all my studies during the week and on weekends also.
So if you had to give some advice to the children who are involved in some other pastime, like, you have youths playing soccer or getting involved in other events, how would you tell them to manage their time?
Well, I think basically what they should do is stick by a strict timetable. Let it suit them, however they want to put it, like what days or what time of the day, let them set it up, but make sure that you have equal amounts of time, or if you need more for studies, put a little more for studies and make sure you stick by that timetable.
All right, we're going to try and throw your mind back now into your Calypso career and some of the things that you've done. You started singing as early as age 7 on Teen Talent and that sort of thing. Refresh our minds about those early days.
Well, those days were tough because, that was when I had a lot of pressure from people around, saying that it was not right for a young child to be starting off so young. From Teen Talent, from 12 and under, it went to the National Monarch competition, and various competitions, and this just shot upwards. And I think those days were kind of like a learning period. You go through and you see the experiences that people have to overcome and go through in order to reach a certain level.
Who wrote the letter?
Ashford Joseph wrote the letter.
What's he to you?
He was my music teacher in Separe Boys Archery School, which is right up the road. He was in charge of the choir, and I used to sing in the choir, and we had Calypso competitions like during the year, during school. So what he would do is, try to prepare a few of us to enter our school competition, and from then he decided that since I was the winner, he would write me a song, for the national.
And in fact, you won.
Writing a letter to the education minister, because it has certain things going on, and I wonder if he is aware. Everybody running their mouth and talking school children bad, and the things they're saying, as man, I just get real mad. I admit that it have a few, but some teachers doing wrongs too. So is this a case of do as I say, but don't dare to do as I do? Punctuality should be one of our watchwords. So they punish me if we reach a school on time. But when they putting me out the gate, some teachers come into school late. So why condemn me, Mr. Minister, when I'm just following the footsteps of my teacher?
I see the breakthrough for you actually as the year you won the International Year of the Youth competition when you sang I Love My Country, and it was for we youths.
Yes.
Tell me about I Love My Country.
Well, this song was a song from the Too Young to Soca album. We decided we wanted to do something patriotic and, try and highlight the things that Trinidad and Tobago has to offer and the things that, youths like me would like about their country. And this was the International Year of the Youth, and we did this song. And For We Youth again was another youth uprising song. So I Love My Country was written by Winsford Devines. And we decided that we wanted to go serious with this one to sort of balance off the Too Young to Soca album.
I love the fest and the bacchanal, Calypso and the carnival in my country. In my country. I love to hear the sweet harmony, band sounding like a symphony in my land. In my land. I love the air of serenity, the lovely people and scenery of my nation. I love the jokes and because every rhythm and simple song I believe a true Trini will understand. Hey, I love my country, I love my land, I love my society, I love my nation. As a patriotic journey, I would view with hostility any move to come between me and my country.
Right, so you made the transition in 1986 actually was the year that you first sang Too Young to Soca in competition. For some reason you couldn't do I Love My Country. What was the other selection that year?
We did Get Up and Get.
Get Up and Get. That was another Winsford Devine composition.
Yes, it was. We decided that something serious to back up instead of I Love My Country, because I Love My Country was already used in the International Youth Year competition. So we couldn't use it again in this Dimash grab. But Get Up and Get was a very strong song. It was telling the people, all the people of Trinidad and Tobago to rise up and get up and head for the stars and do what you want to do.
You got to get up and get. Young people get up and get. I think you get up and get. Don't lie, don't get up and get. Our sweat
Right, now Too Young for Soca was your big hit. Probably up to today, it still is your biggest hit. It was composed by Winsper Devines, but somehow it seemed almost like if you had composed it. Like, how did he get into your mind? How was your relationship with... Tell us about your relationship with Winsper Devines that led to that song.
Well, what we did is my mother and my father and I, we decided we wanted a song, to voice the opinion. Because, I mean, since the letter, when I started singing, people were already, giving out comments and throwing comments about being too young to be in the arena and to sing all over the place. So what we decided is we'll give Winsper Devines the idea, establish the idea and tell him the things that we would like to be said in the song. And, we put down points and a few pointers and stuff like that, and we carried it to him. So it was almost like if I was voicing my own opinion and he just polished up the song.
Olio, I feel it a soca.
Why? You too small.
Man, I feel it a soca, man. It's soca in the place tonight, man. We come to heat it up. Just a little while, and the night is utter amusement. I say I come in on hot to show people what I got, and they start with critical comments. They say I'm a little boy, I'm too young to sing. I've got people spreading joy, that I'm party and ting. They say I should concentrate on winning the junior club, because I've got to wait a few more years to go. They say I'm too young, so come. They say I play with fire. They say I'm too young to boogie. They say I come in too early. They make them joke, tell them I feel the soca. I feel the soca. I feel the jump. Free of myself. I'm really strong, but I'm not too young at all.
All right, let's talk also about your experience in the National Song Festival. You took part in 1987 when you sang Dream Girl, a Roger Boothman composition. Right. What did you place in that year?
Well, in Trinidad and Tobago, I came second in the competition. And then I went on to the CBU Song Festival. The first and second people represent Trinidad and Tobago in the CBU Song Festival, but I came first. And I mean, this was actually my first major achievement.
Pleasant good night to you all. Before I start, I'd like to dedicate this song to the most beautiful girl in the world, to me, my mother.
Your musical background and experience to this point?
Well, I've done some schooling in music. I started learning to write music, but I had to stop due to, the heavy studies in school. And I think basically I'm self-taught because I sit down in the band room and I try to learn the drums, and now I'm quite familiar with, most of the instruments like keyboards, drums, and vocal-wise, I got training in primary school. So what I decided is I want to do my own music. I think I have a feeling just to write music. I like to listen to foreign music and see if I could incorporate these ideas in our own music and, work on my own music. Sometimes I try to touch on foreign stuff also. So I started arranging, and, I like the idea of putting songs together, lyrically and musically.
So how much input did you have on your last album in terms of the arranging that was done?
A lot. This year I arranged 2 entire songs on the album, which is Take Me Back, Africa, and First New Party.
Well, why don't we take a look at your band room where we can see what instruments you actually play and so on, and this little computer you use and everything else.
All right, no problem.
Tell me you don't get what you want. You act like a baby. You're worse than David.
What do you want from me?
A week with David alone.
Well, I've been up in that area. That's a summertime operation. It's closed at this time of the year.
Oh, my God. Where are they?
Mommy. I want to go home. I swear to you, Charles, when I get David back, you will never, ever see him again.
That's it, Marie. I'm finished. I promise you'll never find David now.
A horrifying true story coming up on the Wednesday movie.
This is it.
That's good.
We call it the home of our music.
All right, so what do you got here?
Well, we have some new stuff that we brought down after this tour, We have like our brand new sampler, EPS sampler, and we have the old sampler there. And basically what we use these samplers for is to generally put in ideas. This one is used for drums, and we call this one the one used for tricks. We have generally...
Like, give me an example, like what tricks?
Well, when you're on stage, you'll have little things from records and songs that people like to hear, so you put them into the sample and you could reproduce them on stage. Like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
So, do you have the capacity here to like arrange a song for a person or something like that, based on what equipment you have?
Well, basically the stuff that we brought down we also brought down our mixing board and stuff like that. We usually use these things together with the computer and the 4-track recorder. What we do is we could put a song together. You could come down to us with, some people come with a guitar or a tape with a sort of kind of keyboard thing, and they decide that they want us to do this song. And what we do is we arrange this stuff, and if you want anything sampled and we have a sequencer here, sequencer here, sequencer here. And then we basically put them on the mixing board, and we use our drums and we put the song together.
Right. When did Panasonic Express become ecstatic, and why?
Well, Panasonic Express became ecstatic 2 years ago, or actually probably a year and a half. We decided that we wanted a change, a definite change from, from boys, we were ex-boys. Most of the guys grew up, everybody left school except me, and so we decided we wanted to change the whole image of the band. Because at that point in time, people started to recognize me for my torrid movement on the stage, an exciting move, so I decided that the whole group should be like this. So we worked on routines and various things that we would do on stage, and we developed the mind of always being exciting on stage. And we just decided that to make a band we have to change the name and start fresh. And the X is for ex-boys, and Trinidad and Tobago International Kings, TATIK.
First time I heard that.
So, yeah, that's basically what we have no girls in the band.
Yet.
We have to make it Trinidad and Tobago International Queens.
All right. We want to talk about your arranging skills and composing skills, and let's talk a little bit more about First in the Party and how the song was conceptualized and how you took it to final stages.
Well, what I decided is, I was on the highway one afternoon driving home, and I decided, listen, I think it's time for me to write a song. But I wanted to be, I know people talk about being in the sleep and waking up and getting an idea. I didn't want it to be something too planned. But I think I had to think it out, so I decided a good name. I wanted something different. I mean, First in the Party, I went and I researched to see if anybody sang something like this. I realized it was kind of fresh, First in the Party, you know, although it had party into it and everything. So what I did is I come home and, you know, I could play a few chords on the keyboard and everything. So we basically just put together some chords. I called in the guitar man asking for some help because I wasn't too experienced. So I asked him for some help to put across my ideas. I sing the melody for them. And you know, basically I wrote one verse for 1 month. And after about 5 months, I decided, look, see this morning I'm gonna finish the song. And I got up and I wrote the second verse and the third verse. And you know, this is how it went down. I tried to put all my stuff together and to, you know, when you're doing your thing, you try to do it the best. So I tried to put all my stuff into it, and you know, that's how it started.
And your performance on stage of it, when you actually put that over, like some of the gigs that you did and so on, do you feel extra special when you're doing that song?
Well, actually, you tend to be kind of modest when you're doing that song because it's your performance. Basically, that's the kind of person I am, you know, you don't want people to feel like you're giving any special attention to your song.
Right.
But you know, you feel kind of proud of yourself knowing that this is your work and it's going over good and like every other song, you know, so you kind of get that feeling.
First in the party, Machel Montano, first in the party, oh Lord. I do not want to reach in it, I want to open up the gate. First in the party, hey, hey. She say, I want to sweep the party ground, even if I have to sleep in town. First in the party, what you want? I want to be first in the party. Ting, somebody getting dead, bang, bang, bang. Yes, sir. Jam it.
All right, let's talk now about Take Me Back. And I want to talk especially about the final night performance and the whole presentation that you used on that night. How was it thought out? How did your family come into play in this? And how did it work for you?
Well, everybody had input, you know. It was basically my parents who thought of the presentation. Well, I had the idea first, you know how to these people and stuff like that.
I heard at one time you were thinking of actually coming on stage with an elephant.
Well, no, actually I was very angry that it couldn't work out because, you know, we tried. Because that was the same time that the Suarez circus was in town. So we thought, you know, it would be kind of like a good idea to come out on an elephant. But we had to consider the elephant doing numbers on the stage. And then we had to consider the various the consequences that they would call it. So we decided, okay, no elephant.
A board going through, yeah.
Yeah, you know, something like the elephant just decided not to move and stay there on the stage. So we decided, okay, we'll go a little, you know, conventional. And we got the sort of king thing, you know, they call it king carriage. And to me, it created a good effect, you know. Actually, the guys from right around my area, they helped build it, and, you know, as a matter of fact, it was this chair, right here. Yeah, because you could see the paint still on it. You know, the paint was, they used cookie and put ice gold and green, and they had attachments to it and made it. They had bear skin, we had a goat skin and bear skin, and all sorts of things on the chair. And, I mean, we got people from around the area to come out with the banner. We had a banner that was totally African. We wanted it to say and to show things of Africa. And we came out with this banner, and I mean, the feeling on that night was great. I mean, I was sitting there, and I had this little thing to fan and everything. So it was the whole king scene. But I think it wasn't generally a king thing, but it was coming back to your roots, you know, coming into the idea of being an African. And basically just created a kind of stir. Where people, you could see cameras flashing and you could hear people making noise, and you know, it's just like rising. At this point, I was trying my best to be real cool and serious and think of my song and not get carried away. And you know, generally everything just went smooth.
Now there was some criticism. Some people felt, hey, he's a Trinidadian. What's he talking about wanting to go back to Africa? If he wants to go, let him go.
Yeah.
How did you, as a youth, respond to that kind of criticism?
Well, basically, I responded internally. I thought to myself, these people didn't really listen to the song and understand the lyrics. Because, I mean, ever since Wins for Livings, this was actually an idea from the family again. And we carried this towards Wins for Livings, and he wrote the song. And the song is generally not saying that you want to go to Africa, jump on a plane or jump on a boat and go to Africa. But you want to become more familiar with yourself and who you are and where you came from, your ancestors, and you know, your culture. So Take Me Back Africa was just like the message to catch the people and let them know exactly what you're talking about. Unfortunately, some people misunderstood the meaning, but generally, I thought this song was a great song.
Going from country to country, over the wide world I roam, searching for my identity. It's time for me to come home. Yeah. I want to be in your arms again. Take me back, Africa. I want to share your sorrow and pain. Take me back, Africa. I want to rediscover my culture on the banks of the river Niger. I want to walk on the Sahara. Take me back, Africa. My roots in Nigeria. Take me back. Zimbabwe and Ghana. Take me back. My soul in Namibia. Take me back. Oh, take me back, Africa. Yeah, yeah. Take me back, Lambadi bing bidi, Sadu bing bidi, Sadi bing bidi, take me back. Struggle to gain my freedom, but suddenly I feel reborn to fulfill my need for greater wisdom. It's time for me to mosey on. May Jaja grant me the courage to implement a program so I can look at my image and see myself as I am. I want to be in your arms again. Take me back, Africa. I said I want to share your sorrow and pain. Take me back, Africa. I want to wash and cleanse my character in the waters of Tanganyika. I want to read and write Yoruba. Take me back, Africa. My roots in Angola. Take me back. Tanzania and Kenya. Take me back. My soul in Uganda. Take me back. I said to take me back, Africa. Hey, hey. Oh, oh. I said to take me back, Africa. Ooh. Ding, ding, ding. Take me back, Africa. Oh, ding, 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 ding. I wanna be strong like Mandela. Take me back. I said, take me back, no, take me back, no, take me back. And it's all are we going to struggle together. Take me back. And it's mother for sister, brother for father. Take me back. I said, take me back, take me back, take me back.